Good morning, folks. It's Johnathan Sizemore back with GK Building. And this morning we're starting a new project here in Stanton, Kentucky at the Red River Gorge. And we're going to be turning this Amish-built cabin into a little rental cabin, a tiny rental cabin. And we started off already this morning. We've been in here doing a little electrical work, doing some studs that we're missing in the framing of this. I don't really know if you call them studs. I guess you kind of just call them some support beams. So when we do shiplap, we're going to do shiplap on all these walls. And so we had to put a few more studs in where they didn't have nothing to nail to up there. And we put some smaller collar ties on each of the trusses. That way we could take this big collar tie out because it's going to have vaulted ceilings going up. And we run our electrical over here. That way we can do a outside light right here. And there'll be our light switches for one for the ceiling fan and light, and one for that outside light. There'll be our little 100 amp disconnect breaker box. And she's coming along good. The client actually, who owns this beautiful lake outside here, he actually did some of the work himself, but I come in to help him out, and I'll show you guys what it looks like on the outside here. They actually was painting it last night. If you see here, it's just a smaller little cabin, but we're going to put some bunk beds. We're going to make some bunk beds in there and have a mini fridge. A lot of exciting stuff going to be coming from this place here in Stanton, Kentucky. And I'm definitely looking forward to you guys getting to see us do it. I kind of go over later on everything they're going to be doing here. But can you imagine coming here and for a weekend and climbing out of your bunk bed in the back corner there and then waking up in the morning and this be your view? Isn't that beautiful? I mean, look at there, guys. That's $1 million view if I've ever seen it. So, if you guys stick with us, we're gonna see if we can't get this thing turned into a rental cabin. Once they get it up and operational, I'll make sure to update the description so that you guys can come and stay in this if you'd like to. Appreciate you watching. Let's get into this thing. So guys, they're gonna have a mini split in here, and I just did some framing up here. That way we'd have something to screw the mini split to. And you need something good and solid when you're installing that inside air handler unit. And if you remember a while ago, we had a collar tie that went from here to here, and that's no longer there. We cut it out. I went ahead and put just little small collar ties on each individual truss, and that's probably stronger than just that one collar tie in the first place anyway. And next step is going to be, we already have our electrical ran over here. This is just a 110 mini split, so this will go to a disconnect box outside. And next step's going to be to cut a hole here for the box for the outside light. I would film more today, but I forgot my tripod at home, so I'm just trying to keep you in the loop, let you know what I'm doing. Hopefully I remember to bring the tripod tomorrow. I'll probably be here the rest of the week. And, well, I may be here longer than that because I got another cabin across the pond to fix up too, but, you know, may be here for a month, who knows. But I'm trying to keep y'all in the loop, show you what I'm doing, and keep you informed, and hopefully you're enjoying the content. If you are, hit that like button, and I'll bring you back in just a minute and show you what we did. Folks, so we're back here at this job in Stanton, and you can see behind me we got the little cabin here, and we're going to get started this morning with trying to set this mini split, the air handler unit on the inside. We're going to try to get it installed this morning, and Lowe's is supposed to be bringing the all the plywood so we can saw it up to shiplap. We got to do the insulation on the inside, but first we got to make sure all the electrical's done. We got to make sure that the line set for the mini split is ran through the wall, and then we can do some insulation. And then after that, we can start sawing up shiplap for several hours. It'll probably take a couple hours to saw all that shiplap up, but we're gonna take care of it, and appreciate y'all watching. Let's get right into it. So behind me here, guys, is a, I can't pronounce it, I guess it's Climare. K-L-I-M-A-I-R-E, Climare, I guess how you pronounce that. And this is like a Mr. Cool unit. It's pre-charged. You just pretty much put it up, hook the lines together, run electric to it. This is just a 110 unit, so we just run 12-2 electrical wiring out to a disconnect box for the outside unit, and this unit here that hangs on the inside, it just runs out and plugs in to that outside unit. So it's pretty simple from the instructions that I've read. It just hangs by this metal plate, and we just hook the lines in, run the line set out, and once you tighten them up, it's all pre-charged. And once you have electric ran to it, it should just fire right up and heat and cool this place. So hopefully it works out in reality how I think it's going to work out in my mind. But we're actually going to mount this thing up on the wall here. I'll show you. We put some solid blocking in up there on the wall, and that's where it'll be mounted, and it puts it up like around 8 feet tall. So it'll heat and cool this little 200 some square feet cabin with ease. And our line set will run through this hole, around the back, and you see where I notched out that tube before. And it'll actually go alpha soffit on the outside of the wall. And we'll just have to get a line set cover. And here's where electrical power goes out. Right there where that foam is, that's where power is going out to a disconnect box. There's our concrete pad for our outside unit to set on. We poured that last night, so it's still pretty green. But I'll have to cut this whip down once we get the box set out here. But here is, I have to still hook all this up. But here's our neutral and hot coming outside, and this will be our neutral and hot going into the unit. Ground hooks in. That way, if you ever need to service a unit, you have a disconnect right here. Well, let's get this thing installed, guys. So guys, we're going to run the line set down through here, and it'll just have a line set cover to this outside unit. I was having trouble making that sharp bend through that hole right there. Well, I'm having trouble getting this board back in to show you. Well, I have to take a hammer, but anyway, I couldn't get through that hole. Wish that hole's big enough for everything to fit through. But I just cut that in the center of that stud, and I can put me a piece of blocking on this side, and then I can just get my line set in. I ain't got to put it in no real weird bends or anything. And then just nail this back up, touch the nail heads up with paint, and you'll never know what happened. So I'm here trying to dig a hole just to stub that electrical pipe down for the electrical wire to run into this little cabin. And I tell you, that's some of the hardest dirt I've ever seen. It's got like a bunch of fill in it, red brick. It's solid clay. And I tell you what, I've dug like 12 inches and I'm whipped. That's literally one of the hardest soils I've ever seen to dig. But we got to go down about 4 or 5 more inches, and I'm going to try to get it dug and try to quit whining now. Let's get back to work. Appreciate you guys watching episode 1 of turning a tiny shed into a rental cabin. We just got done eating dinner here, and it's a late one. We put in about a 11 or 12 hour shift today. Thank the Lord we had the strength to do it, but I hope y'all enjoyed that. Hit that like button for us if you don't care. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos, and God bless each one of you. Say see you later, Caddy. See you later. Bye-bye. She's got food all over her face still. See you guys.